right. There are many right ways to do it. The way I'm going to do it is not the right way. It's just our way. The big question is, does it work? That's the big question.
Oh, hey, John, a quick question.
Hi. Yeah.
So I just created a new repo in my GitHub and to use it as the repo for the assignment 1. And I already committed 3 times, just editing the README markdown.
That's fine.
So does that will be considered as the requirements? No. Okay. All right.
No. Like editing the README 3 times and committing that 3 times does not count as 3 out of the 8 that you need to do. Again, they need to be like, I would consider that. Again, a lot of this is going to be subjective. While I'm giving you very objective goals, I'm going to have to look at it and say, is this really a commit? Does this count? You added an extra line. Sorry, doesn't count, right? I'm going to have to do that, unfortunately, because that's the type of world we live in. This is not just an educational area. Like when I'm talking about this is the type of world we live in, it's the world we live in. As soon as you set a standard for things, there are some people that are like totally like, yeah, okay, cool, I get it. Like I'm going to follow the standard. And then other people are like, how can I game the system, right? What can I do to take advantage of this? So it's kind of one of those things where you give people sick. My last employer, he was very hesitant about giving people sick days. Like you get 5 sick days a year type of thing, because he was always worried that as soon as he gives people sick days, suddenly people are going to start using them and being sick, right? And so we never had officially sick days. If you're sick, you take time off, but be careful because you don't want to take too much time off because then it's going to start looking bad. And so, I know it's not what you're asking, but just to give you a sense of like the type of world we live in.
Yeah.
That's the type of world we live in. Yeah. So yeah. Having said that, at the college we get sick days, and there are definitely people that take advantage of it, and I hate it. I don't like those type of people.
Oh, Sulei's got the new sofa.
I know. His house is very clean.
Yeah.
Sule, weren't you taking a course on Feng Shui?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that
recent day? I haven't got because my master is really busy now.
Okay. And is your furniture arranged in such a way that I don't even know the right question to ask.
I haven't got a perfect picture in the background, so I think this is the deer in Chinese must be money. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was the cat. The cat with the money. You point it at the door, and the cat brings in the money. The cat with the arm.
Yeah. That's also yeah.
That's the background, not a real sofa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a background.
Okay.
I don't know. I see the deer moving. Okay, let's talk about some JavaScript, finish this thing, and get on with our day. So I'm going to share my screen with you, or am I already doing that? I'm already doing that?
Yeah, you're already sharing.
Yeah, I'm already sharing. Okay, I don't see the little thing that usually shows up here. Don't know where it went. Okay, so we're going to use the MovieDB API. I'm going to try to do this from scratch here instead of referring back to my solution already. You can sign up for free. Here are instructions on how to get started. We'll grab that. I provide some starter files and the trending movies. Oh, that didn't show up as a link. Oh, I got those backwards. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to start with this. Download that. Great. show in folder. Extract all. How much time I got? We got about an hour-ish. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be reasonably quick here, but also reasonably slow. Should I also I'll do the pushing and pulling and all that stuff too, but I won't take a ton of time on it, okay? So I've downloaded this, it's an incomplete, okay? So, okay, let's start here. All right, and I have my API. Let's close this. Okay. Where is this located? This PC downloads. Okay, so that is located. Incomplete. Okay. So I'm going to initialize this, git init. Okay, and we'll just do an initial commit. Okay, cool. And we'll open this up. One thing you're going to want to be careful of when you're pushing your code to GitHub, you shouldn't push anything private if your repository is public, right? Because you don't want your passwords to be out on GitHub. So just a little piece of information there. Okay. So we're going to reveal and explore, and we're going to run this to see what we're building. So this is a snapshot of what I was building here. Okay, I updated this version. This is the incomplete version. Oh yeah. So yours looks different than mine. All the things are nice and small. All the images are nice and small, 400 pixels. I didn't update my solution, so that's fine. We're going to open the JavaScript here as well. It's already open. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is we should probably make sure our script, our JavaScript, is deferred. Okay. Could be a source for some problems. You have to make sure that you check that. You have to take ownership of your code. Okay, so you have to make sure that you check that stuff out.
I haven't checked it first, so when I add listener inventory, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so, and like that's super common. And actually I forget to do it myself. And then I add an event listener, I do all this code, and then I go to run it. I'm like, what do you mean it's null? And then I go to try to select it in the browser, and it shows not null. And and then that right there is the immediate sign. Like that's where my light bulb goes off. Like, oh, I forgot to add defer. So like you're going to get in the habit of like, here are 5 steps that you usually take every time something happens. And then it's going to lead you right to that, like, oh yeah, I forgot the semicolon. Oh yeah, I forgot this. You're going to do it 3 or 4 times, and then it'll just become natural. And that's how you develop that, those like debugging habits. Okay, so we're in application. The first thing I'm going to do is all I want to do is get the movies and get the genres. That's it. So let's just start with one. Let's just go get the movies. So I need to get the endpoint for the movies. So that is the trending endpoint. Okay. So, and I also said there's also the getting started one here. Okay. So we're going to use this. Okay. We're not getting a movie though. Okay. So I always start like this. We're not getting a movie though. Instead, we're getting trending, like this, okay? And we also need to make sure we have our question mark on here with our, I think it was, what does it say? API key. Actually, I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to just insert it right into here, paste it right into here, into this little spot right there. I want this. And 2 slashes, nope. Okay. So my media type. My media type is going to be movie. I think it's movies. Here are my options. Media type. Movie, TV, person. I want movie. Time window. Day, week. I want week. Okay. And then my API key, I'm going to have to log in to get it. Oh, I'm already logged in. So we'll go to my settings. We'll go to API. We'll paste that. Here is something that I normally do. I often do not hard code my API keys inside my strings. I often put them into variables. And there's a reason for that. And that is because oftentimes when you're working as a group in a team, I have my own API key, you have your own API key. We need some way to manage this better. And so this is part of how we do it. I won't go through that whole thing, but this is just a habit of mine. And I do that. Okay, so we're gonna do a fetch on this bad boy. And, oh, and then, and we're gonna get a response out of it, and we're going to do our response.json, okay? And then we're going to console, oh, and then we're gonna get JSON, and we're gonna console log that. And this is like the most typical approach to working with an API possible. This is like, am I able to get the data? Do I have my API key right? Am I calling the correct endpoint? Right? Because those are all things that matter. What does the data actually look like? Right? There's a lot of stuff happening here already, a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So let's just find out if this works. Okay? So we're going to go pop over here, back into Midflix, bring up our inspector and our console, refresh this page, and awesome. So we got our movies. Okay, we're able, our fetch worked, we got a 20 results, boom, right there. Let's commit this. Okay, so we've committed it. All right, next up, let's do the same thing, but let's get genres now. We're just going to copy this, paste it. Okay, again, I'm not trying to chain anything together. I'm not trying to, all I'm trying to do is just get the data, make sure I'm able to get the data. Because if I can't get the data, then a lot of the other work that I'm doing might not be correct. Because what if I can't connect? What if the data is not in the order that I thought it was? What if the data is not the way I think it is? Then I'm doing all this work expecting something, and then I finally connect, get the data, and realize like, oh, this is not how I thought it was going to be. I can't do anything with this. Okay, so I always like to do, like, this is a crux, like one of the crux of our solutions. Like, if we can't do this, we're bumped. So we need genres. So genres, that's pretty straightforward. So it just looks like this. Boom. There's a little, oops. So genre movie list. API key. Right, always API key. And we'll try this again. Save. Over here, refresh. Great, we got our genres. We got our genres, we got our pages. Okay, let's commit this. Actually, I don't think it's download. I think it's like retrieve. Cool. Okay, so that's committed. Now, what are we going to do with it? Again, I told you before, my opinion is that we want to try to build this. This is what we want to try to do, I think. Now, in order to do that, we have to have both of these pieces of information, okay? And so we can't start doing this until both of these things happen, right? Yeah, there's a couple ways we can approach this, okay? Oh, I froze for a second. We can use promise.all. If you use promise.all, promise.all means that the stuff inside promise.all, inside this then, does not until all of the things have finished, right? I cannot start putting movies into genres if I don't know the genres. And I can't start finding movies that are in genres if I don't have the movies. I need both pieces of information to be done downloading first. Promise.all will ensure that. So if I said A, B, and then I just gave it A and B, then when it was done, then I could start doing my stuff. The problem with this is that these are different objects. And this doesn't really work super well for all those different objects. I personally, I don't really like that. So I'm not going to use promise at all. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one, and it doesn't matter which one I start with, either genres or movies. Once I get that, then I'm going to get the other one. And once I get that, then I'm going to do all my work. So I'm chaining them together. So I'm doing a lot more like what we did in the previous exercise where it's a chain of events, right? And so that's going to happen inside the fetches, inside the thens, right? So once I get my movies, we'll just start with movies because it's the first one. Once I get my movies, then after I get the response, after it has come back and I'm ready to start parsing the data, instead of starting to parse the data right away, I'm going to do a second fetch. Okay, I'm going to do a second fetch. And this will now allow me to go get, so I went to go get the movies, I got the response back, I'm ready to parse the data. I'm now going to, actually, what I would actually do in this case is, I wouldn't do it here, I would do it in the next one. I'm going to pass the movie data, all the movies. Will that work? No. Yeah, okay, let's just do this. Put that in there. Do that call next. Okay. And it will return it. Then, so we get the results of this back. We do the same thing. and then another then. JSON again. Okay. And again, this is our kind of our typical chain when we want to use one thing and another thing. It's a little bit different, right? Because this time we're not taking something from here and using it in here, but this allows us to say, once this is done, then do this, right? Do this, get the result. The result's been gotten and all done, and we're ready for the next one. Now do this. By the time we get to line 10, we can guarantee that both things have completed asynchronously, right? Although this one depends on this one happening first. Again, it doesn't depend on it in the sense that like we're using data from it right away, but we want to wait. We want this, we don't want this to happen until that happens. Okay. Now, the problem is I don't have, so here I need both. So this JSON is really going to be the genres, and this JSON is really going to be the movies. Okay. So we have genres, but I don't call it genres because it's otherwise it'll be genres.genres. So I prefer to call it maybe data on both of them. So maybe data dot, what do we have here? Data dot results in this case, and over here it's data dot genres. Okay, I cannot access this from over here, right? This didn't get passed down. So if I want to access this, I need to either be super clever somehow or do something. So what I do instead is I would just do this. Right, just declare a global variable and then assign that global variable. That's all. Does this make sense so far? So down here, I have my genres and I have my movies. And this is where my work is going to happen. So I went to go get my movies, did the response thing, got the results, assigned the results to a variable, continued with a fetch, then I moved into there. I could, if I really wanted to, did not return this fetch and then started working inside of here. That's fine too. Then I don't have to assign anything to a variable. But I can't call it data anymore. I'd have to call it like, and we get genres results dot genres and movies results dot results. Maybe this is easier to understand. Okay. Again, I'm doing the same thing, just in different, like reorganizing my code so that way my variables are scoped differently. A lot of the reason why I'm adjusting things is all about variable scope. What can be seen where, and indentation, who's doing what, right? It's not that one is right and one is wrong. People would argue, oh, this is nesting too deep. You're starting to go pyramid of doom on me here, right? Like it's starting to get deeper and deeper, but this is the limit. I wouldn't go any deeper than this, okay? And this is the depth that I need to go. So we save this and we refresh, and I console log those two, and here is my genres, and here are my movies. So no, it took a second for them to show up because they don't display until they're all done, until those queries are all done. So we refresh the page and it takes a second for them to show up. So this is a big step and a big change from where I was before. Any questions so far?
I like how you did it in this last part. It made a lot more sense.
Then doing the variable thing. I would still go back and rewatch that if it didn't make sense, so you understand how the scope of that works. Okay.
Sure, yeah, I knew where you were going, but like this.
It's just not. It's just harder to understand.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So next thing that we want to do now that we have this and this is commit. So we'll do an add, get add dot, get commit. So wait until movies retrieval of movies has completed before genres gets retrieved. Okay. Next up.
Quick question.
Yep. Yeah. You should first.
So
Yeah.
I saw you didn't check the status of
I'm just being really quick. You should be thorough.
No, I mean, sorry, from the fetch, the data come back from the fetch from.
Oh yeah, again,
access.
I would check the status, make sure the response is okay. Again, I'm trying to just kind of like speed it up here.
Oh, okay. So it will be like good to check the status for like fetches.
You should. If you do not, I will not deduct marks.
Okay.
But it's a good practice too.
Okay.
Okay, it's a good practice to do that. Yeah.
Sir, I also have a quick question.
Yeah.
Like for our assignment tonight, like is the commit should be limit at 8, or if I do it more?
You can do more. It says you could do more. You could do 8 or more. But
only
you
count 8 for the points.
Yeah, 8 good ones. 8 good ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our things. And now the big thing that we want to do is build the object that John said, right? We want to build the object that I said we should be building. Okay, and that was that like weird object. So I'm gonna just write a method that does that. So we're gonna call this method, or this function, build movie genre object. And it's going to take movies and genres. And guess what? We have them right here. Right? We have movie results and genre results. So we're going to say build movie genre objects, and we're going to pass it in movies results dot results and genre results dot genres. And that's going to go right into here. And this is where we do all our work. So you could see there is a distinct break in the work that we're doing here, right? We're done with fetch. We're done with it. Okay. And if I think ahead, I'll probably have one more called insert into DOM or something like that, right? And it's going to pass in our crazy movie genre object. These are terrible names, by the way. Okay, I would be more thoughtful. Okay, I'll fix them up. Okay, so this is going to build the object. This is going to do the insert, and we're done. We can already see this taking shape. Okay, very distinct problems that we're dealing with here. Problem 1, get the fetch. Problem 2, build the object. Problem 3, insert into DOM. So here, how do we do this? Here is the secret. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Here is my approach. I go through all the movies because all the movies have the genres attached to them. And I only want to keep the genres that have movies in them. If a genre doesn't have a movie, I don't want it. So my thought process is, okay, well then I really don't care about the genres so much as I do about the movies. I care more about the movies. So let me go through the movies, look at the genres, and create that object. Remember, our goal is to build this. Comment this right here. Adventure, array of movie. 1, movie. 2, movie. 3, comma, action, movie. 2, movie. 4, movie. 5, etc. This is what we're building. This is what we want to build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use I want to return, I want to get an object out of this. Yeah. So I'm going to start with an object. So we're going to start with an empty object called movie genres. And all we're going to do is we're going to iterate over movies. Okay, and we're going to look at the genres for each movie. Okay, so movie has genres, correct? It has an array of 3 genres. We do not know what those names are, and that's okay. We don't know what those names are. So if we look at our movies here, we look at the first movie, oh, it has genre IDs, sorry, genre IDs. So it's genre IDs. Each movie has genre IDs. This is an array. So this is also something we're going to need to loop over. So a for each inside of for each. No big deal. Okay, our genre ID. So we go through each movie, we get all the genre IDs, and we go to look it up. We go to look it up inside genres. Genres looks like this. It has 2 keys, ID and name, and it's an array. So we have to go through that to find it. So we need to, it's an array of movies. So we need to do a find. Okay, we can go find it. We can say genre equals genres dot find genre let's call this a movie genre. We're going to go through this array of genres, and we're going to go find the movie genre for this key, because we have the genre ID. We have this part. We know this part, but we don't know which one it matches. So we have to go through each one and look at that, and then return that whole object. So we're going to go find it inside the movie genres. Inside the movie genres. Okay. So this will be genre, and genre dot ID has to equal movie. Oh, it has to equal genre ID. this will get us the object. This will give us one of these, whichever one that the ID matches. Okay. And we'll go find it, return it. So now we have one of the genres that this movie belongs to. So this we might have to do this 3 times because this might belong to 3 movies. Now we take this new movie genre. So this is the first time, pretend this is the first time this is ever happening. Our array currently looks like this. So let's pretend that the first movie we find and the first genre in its list is adventure. Let's pretend, okay? So we want to say movie genres. The first key that we want to create is going to be adventure, assuming this movie genre is adventure. But we also need this to be dynamic because every time we run this, the movie genre is going to be different. So we can't put the string adventure in there. Instead, we want to pull the string out of movie genre.name. So movie genre.name. And hopefully that will be adventure or animation or whatever. It will be something. And we're going to say, since this is the first time, we need it to be an empty array, right? We need adventure to show up in here. And we need this to be an empty array with one object in it, and that is this particular movie. Oops. Okay. So that is this movie. Now, this is great. The problem is that as we do this over and over and over and over again for every movie, we don't want to constantly, so this works, okay? This actually works, but let's see what our results are. Okay, let's take a look at our results. So this is what we get. We get an object with a bunch of properties where the names of the properties are the genres, and each of them has an array of objects. But let's open one. It only has one movie. 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 Why?
Find first one.
I only return the first they find.
Okay.
Maybe the last one. You should use push.
Okay. So it's not the find. The find works. So I'm finding, yes, I am only finding the first genre that matches, but I only have one genre to match anyways, right? I would do this, right? Remember, for every genre ID, I'm doing this. So this movie can belong to 3 genres: action, adventure, drama. That means I would create 3 keys: action, adventure, drama, and push this movie on 3 times, right? But Sule's right. I don't want to be constantly setting it. I want to be pushing it on, because multiple movies, there should be multiple movies in here, but I'm not pushing it, I'm setting it. So what ends up happening is it's only the last movie I find that is showing up in this one here. I need to do the same thing I did in that word processing one where I counted the words, is if movie.genre is undefined, then, right, if the key doesn't exist, create it and set it. This is what we did in our word processing one exactly. We checked to see if that word existed in the object. If it didn't, we created it. Otherwise, we incremented the value of it. This is the third occurrence. We said occurrence plus plus. But here we're saying instead push a new movie onto it. Right? Remember, we're creating the array here. Now we're pushing something onto the array because it already exists. So now when I refresh this, I have an array of 12 action movies, an array of 8 adventure movies, 2 animation movies, 6 comedies, and none of these, there's some of them that aren't in here, right? Because I pulled these directly from the movies. So I created an array of all the used genres and none of the unused ones. I'm just waiting for questions.
Sir, can you go to the console, please? Like the web console. Yeah, there's a like array called wall, like the last one. And is there anything in there? Like
yeah, one object. It doesn't count it because it's only one. Same with history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's this one, 1917. History is probably also 1917. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So it goes through each movie. Right? We start off, we go through each movie. We go to the genre IDs. We loop through each one of these, 28. Go find the genre with 28. Okay, found the genre with 28. It is called action. Create a new key in the array called action. Put this movie in here. Okay, go to the next one, 18. 18 is adventure. Okay, create a new key, adventure. Put this movie in. 53. Okay, history. Create a new key called history, put this movie in. Next movie. Genre 28. Oh, that already exists. It's called adventure. I don't need to create the key anymore. It already exists. There's already a movie in there. Push this movie onto that array as well. That's what this if else is doing. Does the movie, and like if you go back and you check your word count thing that we did a month and a half ago, it's almost identical, except we're dealing with numbers instead of push. Instead of pushing, we're just doing plus plus. Word count, blah, 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 word, plus plus. That's what we're doing. It's the same thing. Okay. This was the challenge here. This piece here was the reason, these 15 lines of code was the reason why I gave you a day and a half-ish to do it. Okay, and I know it's not like a full day and a half of nothing else, but like that's why I gave you this time, because this is not easy. This is difficult stuff. Like it's hard to logically think your way through. There's lots of opportunities for mistake. Okay. This would be a good spot to commit. And so it's hard for me to indicate here any functionality. So what I would do is talk about creates an object. Separates no, it doesn't separate it. Groups, genres together. Okay. And now our last piece is after I've built this, I'm going to return this. I'm going to return that object. And then I'm going to pass that over to insert into DOM. And then all it is our DOM work, where we can go over here, we find where things are being wrapped, how things are being separated. Okay, so they're all by title list. Okay. So title list. We're going to copy one, we're going to paste it, we're going to insert it, and we're done. And we'll create a GitHub account, push this to our repository, and I'll show you the best part. Give you something to be excited about over the weekend. Copy, go to our app, and put in a couple backticks for the big fat paste. Oh, that was way too much. I should have taken one movie. Okay. So there's a distinctive difference between a movie and a group of movies. So here. Okay, I'm definitely screwing up on my divs here. So this is all one movie. Oh, this is all one movie here. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm gonna just sneak that out here. I'm gonna have to do that separately, I think. And then this is my header. So I'm gonna need to like create this too, right? So I'm missed some stuff. So I'm missing a closing div and another closing div, I think. I still like to try to keep these things kind of, 3 divs. Yeah, I still like to try to keep these things kind of together here so I know what I'm building. Okay. So kind of in line, and then so then 3 divs, and my movie goes in, my movies go here. So I'll do that after, okay. So this would be, and we have our crazy movie genre object, that crazy object that we built. So we'll just call it movie genres, okay? And we're going to say movie genres. We cannot loop over it with a normal loop because it is not an array. It is an object. How do we loop over objects?
For in.
Yeah, so we're going to do a for. And what do we get from for in? We get the keys. The keys are the genres, right? If you remember looking at this, the keys here on the left-hand side are the genres. The values are the movies. And since for in by default gives us keys, we're going to call it what it is. So const genre in movie genres. So that's what we're going to get. Okay. And for each movie genre, we're going to do one of these things. Whoa. There we go. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm not going to be inserting into the DOM every time. I'm going to build up a giant string instead because I like that better. So I'm just going to say HTML equals empty string. So we're going to start with some just like empty HTML that we're going to insert, and then we'll insert it all at once right at the end. Okay. So we're going to start by adding a HTML plus equals this, this, and this. So where it says movies go here, I'm going to end it there. Okay? And I'll show you why. So I'm going to add this first. Then I need to fill in this little piece. It's not action, it's genre. It's the key, right? The key. Then where it says movies go here, I'll do a loop over all the movies. And then right at the end, I'll do HTML plus equals, and I'll add the closing divs. Closing div, closing div, closing div. Okay, the indentation's not very good here. But just to give you a sense of, I'm adding the opening stuff, putting the middle, and then adding the closing stuff. And then at the end, I'm going to insert the HTML string into the DOM. And so here, I'm going to loop over each of the movies within this genre, which is movie genres, genre, for each. Okay, again, this is, I can feel the I don't know this stuff. Like I can feel the vibe that you're sending out to me. And my answer is, yes, you do. We already covered it, okay? It's just now everything is making an appearance, right? I'm expecting you to be able to reach in your toolbox and be like, oh yeah, I remember, I got this tool, right? And so, which is why we're trying to practice all these different things, because this is what it's going to be like. We taught it, we went over it, we did the assessment, we did the assignment. I have this expectation, right? Movie. For each movie. And then for each movie, what are we doing? Well, we added the HTML for the header. We added the closing tags. Now we need to add all these little movie things here. So we're going to grab this, cut. We're going to say HTML plus equals. Remember, we're just building up a giant piece of HTML, and then we're going to insert it at the end. And we're going to say paste and fix up this indentation a little bit so it's not a total disaster. Okay. And there we go. Now, we just got to fill this stuff out. Movie dot title. Movie dot title. Movie dot total votes. Popularity, vote, average. Movie dot plot, is that what it's called? Overview. Overview. Movie dot overview. And the last piece was this. And this is movie dot backdrop path. Movie dot backdrop path. However, the images based on this information needed to be at a specific API, and that is here, and that's right here. And that should do it. So we have our movie, title, vote average, overview, movie backdrop path with the correct endpoint. And then finally, right at the end, after we're done, we insert into the DOM, which element? Well, we can just insert it before end of root. So we can go get root and we can insert it before the end. Okay, so that's ID root, so we'll have to get that item. const root equals documents, get element by ID, roots. And, oh, cool, okay, cool. Just learned a new hotkey.
What did you press to do that?
Control page up, control page down. That swapped me between tabs. I was wondering how to do that, and that was just accidental. What I meant to do was shift page up, shift page down. Or sorry, shift home, control home, control end, top and bottom of documents, but I hit control page up, control page down. So that's good to know.
Control tab also do the same thing.
Oh, okay, a little bit different, yeah. Wonder if that works in my browser too. Control tab, oh, nice. Oh, nice, okay, beautiful. That's great. I needed to know that hotkey. I use that one a lot. I just wasn't sure what it was on Windows. So we're going to insert adjacent HTML, and we're going to do it before end. We're inserting a whole block. So it actually doesn't matter. There's not going to be an order because we're just inserting all at once. It's just we can't do it before begin because we have this other stuff at the top. So we have to do it after. We can also do it according to header, and then we can say after end, which would be here, right? We can also insert it there too. And before end, and then HTML. And that will insert it right into the DOM. And let's see if that works. And that's it. Do I have any duplicates? Looks pretty okay. Oh. Oh. Huh? Oh, it's backwards. Action, drama, thriller, adventure, science fiction, comedy, crime, history. You know what? I didn't sort it. And the reason why it's appearing in this order is because it's appearing in the order that the movies, the first genre of the first movie, that's the order. I would probably sort this too before I pass it into, after I get this movie genres thing back, I'd probably do movie genres dot, oh, it's an object. You know what, when I did this the first time, I did the opposite. I went through the genres and I pulled out the movies for each genre. And so I started at the beginning of the genres, so they're all alphabetical. Was one of my requirements to be alphabetical?
I think
I think you had asked us for it. I don't know if it
there
explicitly.
must be some wrong with the HTML plus equals. It's not used plus equals because you should use equal HTML plus this one.
No, this is okay. It's the way I'm building this object up. I just picked the first movie and I grabbed the first genre and that becomes the first key. And so the first key is action. And then the next key is drama. So the first movie you'll see appears in the first three. Extraction is action, extraction is drama, and extraction is thriller. Because that's the first movie I come across, and those are the first three genres for that movie. So those are the first three keys in that object. So what I would need to do then is sort this object. Off the top of my head, I don't know how to do that. There is not like a object.sort that arranges the keys alphabetically. I don't think. I don't think so. Sorts the elements, sort object property by values. No, I want to sort by key. Sort an array of objects. Sort objects by key name. Yeah, that's what I want. First, all array indices. Stringify, unordered, ordered, sort. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Right? To make an
What's
array.
that?
Array?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So you can convert it into an array and then sort that and then convert it back into an object. But really the better way to do it would not be to go through all the movies and the genres, but do the genres first. And then for each genre, go through all the movies. So you're not going through, so for all the genres, you're going to go through all the movies. So movies for each, and we'll just function. Movies, movie, individual movie. And we're going to check to see if this movie has, so if movie dot genre IDs includes the genre dot ID, then, so if the movie, so we're looking at a genre first now. So we're saying, okay, we're at adventure. Now go through all the movies and check to see which ones have the genre ID adventure. If that movie has the genre ID adventure, let's create that thing in here. So it's same kind of idea, just a different order that we're going in. So if it has that, then do this. Movie genres, and it's genre dot name. If movie genres genre dot name is undefined, then genre dot name movie, otherwise genre dot name movie, and there you go. Missing one of these. Same thing, just a different approach. And that should do it. Or it should break. Movie genres, insertion DOM is not a function. There we go. Action, adventure, animation, comedy, crime, drama. See. Yeah. Okay. So instead, we just went the reverse, and I'm leveraging the fact that genres are already in alphabetical order. Okay, that was kind of a little twist. Again, that's why this one was hard, and I mentioned it. This one was hard. So what did you think? Feedback? I should push this, which I'll do, but comments? Nothing. You guys are all like burnt out. It's Friday.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't end up finishing it. I've just got some things going on, but when I was working on it, I was doing the approach that you ended up going with when you fixed it.
Cool.
Where I'd find all the genres, then match the movies to it and put the movies to genre that way, instead of the way that you did it initially. That's really all I have.
So you had the idea, right?
Yeah.
And
I
that's
hadn't actually written it.
honestly, that's like half the battle. Thinking of this, of like, okay, how am I going to do this? That's half the battle. If you get that, then actually doing it, that's easy. That's easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not really that hard. Again, none of this stuff at all is anything new. But I'm not asking you to do anything that you haven't seen before. I'm just asking you to use your tools in a way that you may not have used them, or think about which tools you're going to pull out. And that's essentially what we're constantly doing as developers, is like, we constantly have this toolbox of tools and we forget about some of them, or we keep using the same ones, which you could do too, right? You could go about this in a totally different, way longer, way more brute force approach, but this is the approach I prefer. Let me push this really quick, okay? So you can see that. So I'm just going to go to my GitHub, and then we'll look at the assignment, and then you're done, and I'll just see you Monday. So repos, we'll create a new repo. And I think I already did this one, but we'll call it Movie Fun 2. Great. So it'll be private. Oh, it's already public. I already made it public. So I'm going to commit this last commit, git add dot, git commit. I should have been branching, okay, but I didn't. Sorry, I forgot about that. I forgot we learned that already. Git commit -m. Movies are inserted to DOM by genre. Okay, so now this already exists as a repo, so I'm going to use this one, which is add origin, git push -u, origin master. I never did bother figuring this out. And there we go. All done. Everything's up there. Okay. Now, assignment. I know this one is fine. The students do it every year. So this is not a new one. Okay. You're going to use the Winnipeg Transit Data API. Okay. So open Data Web Services. I give you the the URL. You're just going to have to create an account. It's free. You get, I believe, 100 calls a minute, okay, which is a lot, but you'll also notice that depending on how you do this, you could blow through that pretty quick. So if it works 1 minute and then the next minute your calls just stop working, that is why, okay? If you'll notice that you're making like 50, 60 calls a minute. I could show you how you see this, okay? But you're going to want to check out my demo, because this is what you'll be building. All the information is here, but I'll just show you. I'll just walk you through it. Okay. So you are going to build a application that tells you when the next 2 buses are coming at every single stop on a route. So for example, you need 3 endpoints here. And I tell you which 3 endpoints you need to connect to, okay? You need to connect to the streets resource. You need to connect to the stops endpoint. And you need to connect to the stop schedules endpoint. So there's 3, because you need to get, first of all, you need to find the streets. You do that by providing a string to them, and they will, Winnipeg Transit will come back and say, here are all the streets that match the string you provided. So for example, I provided with a string, Pemina. Here it replied with, here are all the streets that match the word Pemina. And not all of these have bus stops on them. A lot of these don't have bus stops on them. A lot of these are ramps, but they're considered streets within the context of there. I don't care whether or not they have bus stops on them. Put them out to the screen anyways. Okay. I click on one, and what it will do is then go to look up all the stops on that street. Then go to each stop and find all the buses that go to that stop and when the next two buses are. It will only tell you the buses that are going to be at that stop in the next 2 hours. That's the default. Okay, if it's past 2 hours, so if you ran this at like 3 o'clock at night, you would get no buses for any stop because it only looks at a 2 hour window. And that's just how it is. You can convert that if you want, but I'm not expecting you to. You click on Pemina Highway. Here are all the stops for Pemina Highway. Here are their stop name, cross street, direction, bus number, and when the next bus is. All of the stops on Pemina Highway. So each one of these is a call. So when I say 100 seems like a lot, it's not a lot. 100 calls a minute, it goes by pretty quick. If I run this 3 times really fast, you'll see, click on it again. And you see, even after 1 time, I can't click this button more than once per minute because it just like, I used up all my calls for this minute. So now I got to wait another minute. That's how quick it is to go through your calls. It's not that and like lots of things have limitations like this, but now it should be refreshed again. Let me try it again. There you go. So it's working again. So sometimes when you exhaust your calls, it just will stop working and then it'll start working again. And you'll see that, you'll see it in your errors. So I have 159 errors. It looks like this. Access to fetch, something has been blocked by CORS. That's not really what happened. It just failed. Also, sometimes a couple of them error, but everything else still works. That's fine. Okay. Couple little things to notice that I have here. This little thing up here, displaying results for Pemina. Also, if you type in something that doesn't return any results and you get no streets found, no streets found. So I'm going to give you the HTML. I'm going to give you the pretty normal stuff that I give you, right? I'm going to give you one of these, an incomplete version. You also have access to the stuff that I showed you just now. Okay, you also have access to that test version in case you're not sure. Just be careful, you're all sharing the same test version. And so you saw how quickly I can run out of requests. So if one of you clicks that Pemina button and the next person comes and clicks that Pemina button, it might not work for you. So you may have to, you have to share, right? So we're going to extract all of this. Take a quick look at what you get. And this is what you get. You get one of these.
Do you mind to maybe change your completed? I know you search for a street and look through all the stops for that street, but if you can look just maybe 5 so that it won't get not working when someone clicks Pemina. No, I won't do that. Okay.
Yeah, I would. If that was a problem, I would say, you know what, I'm just going to take it off. No, I think that you should be able to use it once and get a sense of how it works. It's not very complicated, right? You actually should be able to just look at this. The
incomplete one is enough, I think.
Yeah, just look up Henlo. There's like 5 buses that come to Enmo. There you go. Okay. Don't use Pamina, just use Hedmo. Yeah, so that is what you are building. Okay. I got a couple of pieces of information here for you. I'm just going to modify them so they show up right. And that is, there we go. You'll need to check. So next 2 upcoming buses, it only tells you the next 2 buses. Okay, I'm only asking for 2 because it only tells you the next 2. And it only tells you the next 2 that are happening in the next 2 hours. So if there are no buses in the next 2 hours, but there are buses after that, it won't tell you. And that's fine. Don't include that. Okay? You'll notice that all my buses are there. Like it just won't tell you that those buses are coming. It only reports about the buses that are coming. If there's no buses coming, it doesn't even tell you about it. You're just totally oblivious to it. And so if you ever wonder, like, I'm sure there's buses coming sometime in the next day to this stop. Yeah, possibly, but not in the next 2 hours. So they just won't show up. This is a pretty nice, easy system to use. Part of this is for you to explore this and figure it out. Okay, I will not walk you through this one. Okay, I want you to get this out on your own. I also say down here, for full points, use promise.all to display all the data at the same time. Okay, so if you're able to do that, awesome. If you're not, it's not going to be a huge penalty, but it's the difference between 100% and 95% kind of thing, right? Save that for the end. Do everything and then save the promise.all thing for the end. Do not let this be the thing that hangs you up and stops you from handing in this project or stops you from doing everything else. You don't need to use it to succeed. You need to use it to get maximum points. Okay, here's all the pieces of information you need. Also be careful, by default, the API returns XML, but you want JSON. Go through the documentation to find out how to ask for JSON. Okay, you need to tell the API, give me JSON. Don't give me XML. Okay. Tuesday, end of day. You have all weekend, all day Monday, all day Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday, I will be doing more Git and SD130 stuff. Okay, so I will be using a little bit of that lecture time. I think. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to check in with you on Monday, and we'll find out where you're at. But how are you guys feeling?
Sir, one more
Yeah.
question. Yeah, for another assignment of SD130, and we need to add you and Dak as collaborators.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to show you how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So if I have a project here, let me just pick my bus project my movie one that I just did. Okay. So I'm going to go back to me. We'll find the movie one, repos, movie fun 2. It's under settings. So you go to settings, or I think can you do contributors? Oh yeah, settings. And I believe it's manage access. It'll ask you to confirm your password. Who has access? You haven't invited any collaborators yet. Invite a collaborator. And then you type in Super Shin?
915.
What's that?
I have 3 numbers after. It's 915.
There we go. So that's Yushin. And now he's a collaborator. Okay. And that's it. So settings, manage access, invite collaborators. Also, before you go, here's one last cool thing. Options. Under settings, options. Scroll down. GitHub pages. As long as it's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and your HTML file is called index.html, and you can turn on GitHub pages, just click master branch, and you're done. Within a minute, your web page is now hosted on GitHub for everyone to see. So it takes a second. So it'll give you a little URL. Okay. And there you go. Anything that you push to GitHub as a thing, as a project, as long as index is called HTML and it's just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can host it. So now if you go to this URL, it gives you the URL too. So settings, options, scroll down, GitHub pages, choose source, master branch, and you're done. And it gives you the URL. If you scroll down again, it gives you the URL here. Your set is published here. There you go. There you go. You can host your own stuff now. Now you can go put all your stuff on the web this weekend. Okay. Or do the assignment, whichever one you want. It's up to you.
John, I have a question. Can you make an example again about merging creative branches?
Yeah, I could do that. Can I do that on Monday? You won't need it for this assignment, and I don't want to keep everyone. I'm already keeping you to 3:25. I want to go. You should probably go too. But can you remind me to go through that on Monday?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thanks. Anything else that's easier to answer? Smaller?
Question about the assignment. Can you switch back?
Yep.
So the promise all you said it's using it to display all the data at the same time. Is it? I don't quite understand the part of display. Is it? Are we going to insert all the data?
It's this part at the same time. So what's happening here is there's two stops on Henlo, the Scurfield Boulevard one and the Fultz Boulevard one. So there's two. So that means I have to go and ask for this data twice. If I don't use promise.all, what would end up happening is one of them might show up first, and then there might be like a little hesitation before the next one shows up. Okay, because they're coming in at different times.
Okay.
So what promise.all does is it says, I'm not going to show anything until I get all the data back, and then it shows it all at once. That's how promise.all works, right? So because this one's a small one, but Pemina has a ton. So when you click on that one, boom, it all comes in at once. Okay. I actually don't even know if I'm using promise.all on mine. I think I am. I'm pretty sure I am, because that's how I decided that I think you should do it. I do ask, again, I ask for this every year. This is the same thing I ask for every year. You can do this. Everyone can do this. You got this. Okay.
I have a question. So just to like follow up with what Willie said, for assignment 1 for the other class, it says we have to create merge 3 branches.
Yeah. So you're going to branch, you're going to do your work, and then you're going to merge it back. Is that what you wanted me to go over? It wasn't the merging of the GitHub stuff?
Like branches? I don't know if that's what he was asking, but.
Yeah. Like, I would say, yeah, I can. I mean, like, it's a little late. I would keep you till 4.
It's okay. I'll look it up.
Yeah, if you want to go back and watch the video, I can go over it again. I will keep you till, I'll have to keep, whoever wants to stay can stay. Whoever wants to go can go. Or you can just go watch the video, whatever you want. What do you guys, who wants me to go over it right now? And I'll go over it.
I
One?
don't want to keep you, but I.
No. That's fine. It's not me. I'm worried about you. Okay, whoever wants to go, totally, you know, if you get it, that's fine. I'm just showing you how to, okay, I'm not going to deal with merge conflicts because you won't get any merge conflicts. Okay, trust me, you're not going to get any merge conflicts as long as you don't do anything super crazy. If you get a merge conflict, I'll help you get out of it, okay? But yeah, you shouldn't get any merge conflicts. Okay, so it goes like this. So I'm on my branch, master. I'm going to create a new branch. Let me make this bigger. Actually, it's not going to take till 4. It'll take like 10 minutes. Okay. Get branch. New branch. Get checkout. That new branch. Okay, switch to new branch. So now you go and you do your work. So touch some new files, .txt, and we'll do a little bit of code editing while we're here. Add a couple spaces in there just for fun. Okay, pretty easy stuff. Git add dot git commit dash m my commit message. All right, now git. Okay, so now we have a commit on a branch or multiple. In your case, it's probably going to be more than one commit. It's probably going to be multiple commits because we're building a branch. Our branch is like a bigger piece of it. Think of a branch as having multiple commits usually. Okay, so if I was thinking today about you want to chop it up into small pieces. So let's say you chop this up into 10 separate little pieces. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. 10 pieces, maybe 3 of those pieces will be in one branch, 3 of those pieces will be in another branch, 3 of those pieces will be in the branch after. And again, it's do this one, then merge it in. Then make another branch, then do that, then merge it in. It's not one branch off the other branch off the other branch. It'd be more like this process here, okay, that I'm showing you. I went off, I created a branch, I added a couple commits. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to merge it to master. So I need to go back and merge it to master means git checkout master. And I want to merge new branch, git merge new branch with master. And because I added the no fast forward, it's always going to pop up like this all the time. All I'm going to do, Control S for save, Control W for close, and boom, our merge is done. Now I'm going to delete this branch. Not something you have to do and not something I can tell if you do, but I know Saria is going to do it because she likes to keep things tidy. And I like to keep things tidy too. So I'm going to do git branch dash D new branch. Branch, and now we'll delete it. Now I'll move on to my next piece. Create a new branch. Check out my branch.
And sorry, does that automatically and then you save it from your master into GitHub?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then the process after would be, well, at the end, yeah, I would push my master. Only push your master. You only need to push your master. So I would go after I'm done and I merge it, git checkout master, git.
Okay, and so you would never push.
I would, but you don't need to for this. No expectation. In real life, yeah, I would.
And it would work, right? Like if I pushed it onto the master,
No, if I'm in a different branch, git check out new branch again. If I'm over here and I type in git push, it will say, I do not know how to push this branch.
Oh.
Because this branch has no, what we call upstream, has no upstream set. So it doesn't know how to push it. You need a better git push than that. And so there's a better git push that takes a couple more arguments that I used earlier, but I'm not even going to go into that because it's not necessary. For now, I am totally okay with you typing in git push on a branch and it just failing, because I don't really want you to go down that path anyways. To me, that's just more things to add to the level of confusion. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A quick question about hosting page on GitHub.
Yeah.
So if I'm hosting a page and as long as I'm not sending the URL to people and they won't be able to open it, right?
No, they can find it.
Where can? Sorry,
Google will index it eventually. It'll show up on Google eventually. Google finds everything. You can't do that with private repositories, only public repositories, by the way.
Okay, I mean, if I open your repo, where can I to find that link?
It's different. Look at my repo, github.com/jneisel. Look at my page, jneisel.github.io. So they build a totally different system out of it. And then it's the repo name. Then it's the repo name for both. So it goes your name.github.io/repo name. That's how GitHub Pages works. Whereas a normal GitHub repository is github.com/your name/repo name.
Okay, so I can try by the pattern you just showed before,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. I can post it in Slack if you want, or Discord, whatever that is.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So that did not take 30 minutes. That took 8 minutes, 6 minutes. Sorry, I thought maybe it would take longer. Everything seems to take longer than I expect. Hopefully that is all I expect, right? For this project, that's exactly what I expect. Make a branch, go do some work, commit a couple times, merge it in. You don't even need to push. Go do another branch, go do some work, merge it in, do the third one, do a couple commits, merge it in. It's Tuesday, noon, you're tired, you're done. Push to GitHub. You only really need to push to GitHub one time. It will push all the commits.
That was okay.
Yeah. When you push, in a real environment, you're probably going to want to push and pull often, but because you're the only one doing it right now, you just need to push once and it will push up all your commits. All your commits are timestamped based on when you committed them, not based on when you push them. Yeah, so even though you're pushing at the last minute, I still see, oh, sorry, I did some work here, and on Sunday and on Monday, I can see all that, right? It's all timestamped.
And it shows all the branches, when I commit my mouse.
Yeah, so take a look at this. If you look over here, since I made some branches, you can actually see, you don't see the branches, but I see it in the commits. I get to see, did I push? No, I didn't push, that's why. Sorry, just one sec. Just do this one more time and I'll show you how it looks for me. Okay. I see this. Merge branch with new branch. And then I can click on this and I can see the branch stuff that happened. That's what I can see. It looks like one commit, but I can see the commits that are happening on there. Okay. All those commits get added based on this, my commit message. See, so this is the same, and it's based on the parent. Yeah. So I can see all that without actually seeing the branches on here. So you don't need to push the branches for me to see the branches. That's why I wanted you to do that no fast forward, because it just makes it way easier.
Sir, I have a stupid question, but I really need to know. Like for the branch stuff, like if you open that file and you change the branch from master to some other branches, so the files, like for example the HTML or the CSS or the JavaScript, they won't change, but they still change the branch. And if you do something in it and you just change it, like check out back to the master, so it will like still keep that changes until
Yes.
you merge them, right?
Yes, that's not a stupid question. That is something I did mention though. Your changes are kept and they travel with you no matter which branch you go to, as long as you don't commit it. As soon as you commit it, that's when they stick to a branch. So your changes that are not committed travel with you as you go, as you travel through time. So as you travel to different timelines, all that stuff goes with you until you say, you know what, changes, stay here. This is where I want you. This is commit, I commit, right? And then when you change, when you check out away, those changes stay there and your editor will swap.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Are we good? Awesome, great. All right, let's get out of here. Let's enjoy our weekend. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. Call your mom, okay? All right, I'll see you Monday morning, 8:45. Have a really enjoyable weekend and have fun programming.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you, John.
Bye. I don't know how to end this. I lost my Zoom stuff. There we go.